Greetings, lovelies. This is Annette back again with Chronic Wellness. Thanks for being here. I want to talk to you today about the role of music in my life. And this is a tale of lung disease and migraines. And I guess I just want to say that music for me was a lifelong love affair. I was raised in the church, and we always had really intelligent, creative, uh, invested music and choral directors. And from the time that I could talk, I was singing in a church choir. And my mother knew the Methodist hymnal well enough that for 80% of the hymns, she wasn't looking at the book. She was doing this from memory. And uh, music is a through line for 3/4 of my life. And as soon as I had a little bit of pocket money of my own, I was buying records and tapes and eventually CDs. I was taping things off the radio. I was making mixtapes and then CDs. And I studied opera in college. I was a singer. I am a singer. And when I got sick and my lungs started to fail, I stopped music. I quit it altogether. I stopped singing. I stopped playing music. I stopped listening to music. And I have a couple of instruments that I play. Like, music was off the table for a few reasons. One is when I don't have oxygen enough to talk, I certainly don't have enough to sing. That's one. Two, um, shortly after lung disease came IVIG, which brought meningitis. And meningitis brought migraines, the likes of which I'd never known. And that crowded out all possibility of sound. So that was thing two. And now for me, migraines are daily. So choosing what sounds are in my life is an important part of how I modulate how bad my headaches are by the end of the day. And perhaps at least as big as those two factors, and maybe because of my church involvement, but maybe not, music is an arrow, is a main line, is tapping like a vein that goes straight to my heart, maybe even to my soul. Music short circuits for me all of the other, I don't know, bullshit, nonsense. Music cuts through other noise and moves me in such potent and powerful ways that when I am at my most fragile, which honestly, folks, has been 85% of the last decade of my life, I have had to really carefully pick how much I can take. And if I am riding an edge very near a tipping point at all times, I don't have the oxygen to cry. I don't have, I can't listen to most beats without like needing to move, and I don't have the oxygen to dance. And um, if my cup is so full to bursting with the hardship, the emotions, the toil of living with chronic pain and chronic illness, I have to figure out when I can have those releases. And then music can be a part of that choice. But just having it on in the background or just turning it on the average Tuesday if I'm in the car isn't necessarily a viable option for me because of its ability to move me so deeply, to make me want to sing along, to cause me to want to move, and to amplify the intensity of my oncoming headaches. And I can't tell you how surreal it is, how unimaginable it is that, I mean, my dad's anthem my whole growing up life was Buddy Holly's The Day the Music Died. And I feel like there was a day for me that the music died. And I don't think that has to be true. And part of why I'm talking to you about this is that I'm trying to figure out, when can I let it in? And what is viable to let in? Listening to some background orchestral or piano music moves me and does not require that I sing along and doesn't require that I dance in the same way that putting on some Beyonce does. And so I'm trying to find the ways, the avenues, the path back to some music. And it's amazing. There's nothing that makes me feel ancient more than people talking about what music they're listening to right now, because that is an area of life that I am just completely out of sync with. And so they're like, Doja Cat, and I'm like, is that a cartoon? Because I just don't have the first clue about current music these days. And maybe that'll be true from this point forward, and maybe it won't. But I wonder about you and your lives. Is music the undercurrent of how you stay afloat? Is music eliminated for you as it has been for me? Is it somewhere in between? What peace have you made? What peace does it give you? What have you found to be true? Because I really am struggling to learn on this one since I just, broke up with music cold turkey. I'm not suggesting it was a good plan. It's just what I did. So sound off. I would really love to know what your truth is. And meanwhile, I'll be here trying to find a gentle beat and be gentle with myself in the meantime. Till we're together again, thanks for being here. Be well.